Proceed.
Thank you so much, Dr. Santoshkumar Phulpagar, for joining us today. Let me quickly introduce you to our audience today. Um, Dr. Santosh Kumar Phulpagar is a seasoned management professional whose impressive career spans over 2 decades and encompasses a wealth of experience across diverse sectors. A proud alumnus of renowned institutions like IIM Ahmedabad, IIM Mumbai, IIT Delhi, and VGTI Mumbai, Dr. Phulpagar has continuously elevated his expertise, recently earning a brain-based coaching certification from the esteemed Neuro Leadership Institute, NLI. For the past 5 years, he has been passionately engaged in executive coaching, empowering individuals and teams to reach their full potential. His certifications over a range of transformative topics, including the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, MBTI, Thomas Profiling, Leadership Development, Personal Effectiveness, Sales Effectiveness, and more. Currently, as the CFO and CHRO of a dynamic fintech startup, Dr. Phulpagar exemplifies a people first approach. He is dedicated not only to the development of his team, but also to inspiring them to achieve both individual and organizational aspirations. His remarkable talent for connecting with and influencing people has earned him significant recognition in his professional circles. From executives to students, Dr. Phulpagar has played a pivotal role in coaching countless individuals towards their goal, leading numerous leadership development training sessions and contributing an impressive number of man days to professional growth throughout his illustrious career. We are extremely grateful and honored to have you join our online session today. And on behalf of Anna, I would like to express a thanks to you. And now I would like you uh, to please share your thoughts on the today's topic.
Or Pranati, should we check whether presentation can be put on?
I think you have the access to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so your topic today is the Buddha, the executive coach. So over to you, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. Let me just do a little bit hygienic thing.
Yeah, can you able to share, sir?
I am just checking. Sorry.
Yeah,
Can
we
you
can
see my
yes,
screen?
we can see that. Yeah. If you can do the full screen, that will be great. Yeah, perfect.
Now tell me, are you able to see the full screen or you are able to see the subtitles, etc.?
We can see your notes, your present notes as well.
Or notes are also seen? Okay. Okay, then maybe I'll just go back. Okay. So, Jai Bhim Ambedkar Association of North America, my heartfelt gratitude to Mahesh and the team for inviting me and giving this opportunity for me to present thoughts about my book. I'm sure some of you had an opportunity to see this book. Recently, I have written this book, Buddha, the Executive Coach. So today, I'm actually going to present my thoughts into 4 segments. First segment, I will talk broadly about the book. I will also talk about the people who have talked about my book. They have given some endorsement to my book. In second part of this session, I will talk about my inspiration from Buddha's life that helped me to write the book. Hello, I think there is some hand up.
Sir, you can continue. Yeah.
Okay. So third segment, I will talk about the process of executive coaching. I am not sure whether everybody is aware about the executive coaching process. It is well established in the Western world. It's developing in India. And the last segment, I will try to take few snippets from the book where I have tried to integrate the Buddha's teachings along with the coaching principles. So let me begin with giving you broad idea about the book. So I already showed you the front page, and this is a back page. You can see that, there are few people who have talked about my book. So broadly, this book is talking about practical leadership lessons from the Buddha's discourses to guide the professionals through uncertainty with clarity and ethical strength. I'm sure all of us are aware about we are living in a hookah world. Hookah is basically volatile, uncertain, complex, ambiguous. Many of you may be aware, we are living in this world, and in this kind of world, all of us as a professionals, whether working in corporate, having your own businesses, or working in some NGOs, etc., all of us are going through uncertainties of the life, ambiguity of the life, and we need to have a clarity about what we want to do and how we want to do it. So I believe, Buddha's teaching is very, very practical. It is not only for the monks, but it is also for the lay people like you and me. So next is I would like to talk about two distinguished people who have, expressed their endorsement to my book. One of them is Stephen Batchelor. I'm not sure if you are aware about him, but his career is also very, very humongous. He's, I think, about 75-year-old. In the initial phase, he's a Britisher. He's a UK citizen. In the initial part of his life, he was a monk associated with His Holiness the Dalai Lama. And then he was also monk in Korea for, I think, more than 10 years. He spent his life as a monk. In Korea, he met his wife, who was a nun at that time, Martin, and they moved back to London. And then he wrote a book called Buddhism Without Beliefs. And it actually turned out to be bestseller. It gave him a financial freedom. And I think currently he stays in France. So what he has to talk about my book. Buddha, the executive coach, skillfully unites practical philosophy of the Buddha with the practice of coaching in the context of the contemporary workplace. Well versed in both these fields, Dr. Santoshkumar Phulpagar is eminently qualified to view these seemingly different traditions together. The result is an approach to coaching that is grounded in the ancient wisdom of Buddhist India, an approach to Buddhism that enables it to speak directly to those living in the globalized 21st century. So these were the words of Stephen Batchelor. Now I would like to actually talk about another gentleman. His name is Venerable Kalden La. I'm not sure, again, whether you heard about him, but he's also quite famous. He's a bhikshu to Bhiktan Kalden. He's also associated with His Holiness the Dalai Lama's Institute in Mysore. Uh, when I'll tell you his real name, maybe some of you will, know. His real name is Ujjwal Tamgadge. He's passed out from IIT Mumbai. I am Kolkata. He worked with some of the multinationals before he stepped into the monkhood. I had requested him to actually, write a foreword for this book. He had actually come to Mumbai and he spent some time in my office, and he was kind enough to agree to write the foreword for this book. And I express my deep gratitude to Venerable Kaldenla. So what he has to say, he says, this book draws from the universal practical principles found in the discourses of the Buddha and presents them as tools that are relevant to the challenges that modern executives face. A good executive coach enables trainees to discover their own answers through investigation and reflection. This book to spurs its readers to examine how ancient wisdom can aid and enhance their leadership from the inside out. So I express my deep gratitude to both Stephen and Venerable Kalden for, devoting their time and writing endorsement and the foreword for my book. And I'm sure it would have given you idea that, what is this book about? This book is actually weaving the Buddha's teaching in a practical manner with the principles of executive coaching. Now, I would like to actually talk about my inspiration from Buddha's life. So as all of us are aware that, Buddha got enlightened at the age of 35, and for next 45 years, he traveled all over India, and maybe that time there was no India, but, the largest section of the geography, and he actually delivered several discourses. But I'm sure, you would have also heard that, lot of kings like King Ajatashattu, a lot of business people like Anath Pindika, learned people, our Bhanteji mentions Venerable Sariputta, Venerable Mogalan, Venerable Subhuti, Venerable Ananda, and several learned people actually approach Buddha. And then I'm sure there are so many learned people. All of them approach Buddha with their personal challenges, personal dilemmas, personal aspirations, and Buddha helped them to resolve their personal aspirations, personal challenges, personal dilemmas. And how did he resolve it? So I'm sure he used the principles of executive coaching, and that is why I'm saying that, Buddha was the first executive coach known to the humankind. Probably there were more Buddhas before Siddhartha Gautama, but what we know is Siddhartha Gautama's discourses have been documented, and now we read them. So during this 45-year journey, I'm sure he used the principle of executive coaching, which is more about asking the right questions. So he asked the right questions to the people who came to him with their own personal dilemma, challenges, and these questions actually triggered the certain thought process, triggered certain possibilities in their mind. As Buddha said, mind is everything. If we can cultivate the right virtues, right habits, our mind will get cultivated, and the pure mind, if we can think, speak, and act with a pure mind, the happiness will come along with us like a shadow. So I'm sure the kind of question that he asked all these kings, businessmen, and all other people help them to think about their own problems. So as an executive coach is not giving the solutions. Executive coach is only asking the right questions which are triggering the thought process, and those brain cells are actually, generating some unexpected connections, and it is generating some insights in your mind, and that insight is actually nothing but actually eureka. It is giving you the solution for your own problems. So this is my inspiration from Buddha's life. I'm sure Buddha has used, and I am saying that Buddha was the first executive coach known to the humanity. Now let me talk a little bit about the executive coaching process. So as I said, executive coaching process involves a dialogue between a coach and the people who are getting coached. So primarily it is one-on-one coaching, but there is the other model which is one-to-many coaching. So many organizations actually engage a coach where the leadership team is coached by the executive coach. Then it is one-to-many. But the most widely used model is actually one-to-one coaching. So in one-to-one coaching, what happens? A one-to-one conversation that focuses on the enhancement of learning through increasing self-awareness and a sense of personal responsibility, where the coach facilitates the self-directed learning of the coachee through questioning, active listening, appropriate challenges, and when needed, practical guidance in a supportive and encouraging environment that leaves the coachee feeling clearer and more optimistic about the future. So the job of executive coach is to actually bring clarity in your mind. I was also listening to the session of our Bhanteji in the beginning, and then Smith narrated a wonderful story. I think one of the question was, staying in the present moment. Buddha has told us, staying in present moment. But, our goals are all in the future. If you are an entrepreneur, you want to actually grow your company from X level to 2X, 3X, 5X. It's not going to happen now. It is future. If you are working in a corporate world, you're drawing X salary, you want to make it 1.25, you want to make it 2X, 3X, or you want to grow in your career and move to the vice president, senior vice president level. And if there are some students who are attending, they would like to actually pass in a great scores in their exams, etc. So the goals are going to be in future. And Buddha said you have to be in the present. But my dear friends, my dear colleagues, brothers, sisters, all those future dreams will come true only when we act in the present. All those future nice dreams will come true only when we act in the present. So therefore, it is very important that we are mindful about what we do now, and step by step, we actually move to the next level. And the executive coach, along with the coachee, both of them stay in the present moment and they identify certain actions, etc., in the present moment, which can build to move to the next level. One can say, what about the past? Why are we not talking about the past? See, past is gone. It is never going to come back. However, we should always remember there are learnings from the past that should be used in the present moment. There are some good learnings and there are some learning which we should avoid. But past will give us learnings, and future will tell us where we are moving ahead. But the future will come reality only when we'll act in the present. So having a clarity about what we want to achieve and acting on it in the present is very important. So I'm going to share steps of the executive coaching with you, which are widely used. Number one step. So normally the executive coaching process involves uh, every fortnightly sessions, about 1 hour each. And normally those sessions are 12 to 18. So you can say that, this process actually goes on for 6 months to, let's say, 9 months, etc. Where the executive coach actually, engages with the executives like CEOs, CXOs, or the next level of people in the organization. And what executive coach actually helps them is to, first write down the compelling goals. These goals could be in your professional life. These goals could be in your personal life also. So first important thing is identifying compelling goals, because many times there is ambiguity. What should I do? Should I actually start this business? Should I start that business? Should I use my extra time, extra money to invest in this stock, or should I do this thing? So there is always ambiguity, and more we can, get a clarity and identify what is that we want to do it, then we can, move ahead. So bringing that compelling goals is important. So that is step number one. Step number two is breaking that goal into the actionable milestones. For example, currently your organization turnover is, let's say, about $10 million, and you want to actually take it to maybe, $1,000 million. It is not going to happen in one night or one day. You need to break it. Maybe, from 10 to you should move to 20, then 20 to 50, 50 to 100, 100 to 200, then 500, like that. You need to break your goal into the actionable milestones. Again, a very, very commonsensical, very practical, but many times the executives are unable to do it. And when they actually work with an executive coach, they get a clarity and they break it into the logical, actionable milestones. So it is like this diagram, actually, there is a goal. And many of you would have heard Jack Welch, who was an ex-CEO of GE. He mentioned that, if you have more than 2 or 3 goals, you're likely to achieve zero. If so, he also recommended that not having more than 2 or 3 goals. You can have sub goals. You can have sub goals, but then, majority, the bigger goals should be 2 or 3. If you're, targeting more than 2 or 3, you are likely to achieve none of them. So my sincere request, those who are actually, listening to me and want to follow this path, please identify 2 or 3 larger goals, break them into the actionable milestones. So you can see that, this gentleman is walking on the steps. So the next step logical is actually you have to move from one milestone to the another milestone. So you need to plan the actions. So you need to move from one step to the next step. That means you have to take actions. So you have to plan actions to achieve your milestones. The next step in the executive coaching is review the progress and course correct. So you need to review those actions and see what is working and what is not working. And you should be flexible enough to actually sometimes even revisit your goals. Sometimes revisit your milestones and revisiting the actions, and ensure that you are taking the right steps and you are able to move towards your goals. Then celebrate achievements along the journey. So it is very, very important. Actually, even Buddha has mentioned that, even the small wins should be celebrated. So when you move from one milestone to another milestone, even when you actually take certain action on daily basis, you should celebrate if you are able to take it successfully. There is a book called Atomic Habit, and even this has been said by Buddha also. There is a Japanese scholar called Daisaku Ikado. She has also talked about, the importance of small or tiny steps. So suppose you want to reduce the weight from X to the Y, about 5 kg, 10 kg, etc. It is not going to happen in one day. But if you can see that, even if you are able to move it by few grams, that's also kind of a minute step. So taking a tiny steps is also very, very important. Some of the goals broadly are put into a circle called circle of life. I'm just going to share them. Number one is a career. So all of us are concerned about our career, whether it's a business, whether it's your professional life. So we want to get promoted, we want to grow our business. The second is the finance area. In the finance, somebody would like to, buy a car, somebody would like to buy a house, but these are some of the goals that one can have. The third is, the most important is health. You have money, but if your health is not there, then, it's also not helpful. So, having a healthy diet, healthy lifestyle, so weight, etc. So being energetic. What's important is you need to be energetic irrespective of your age. So health is very important. And next is the relationship with your colleagues, the relationship with your family, relationship with your friends. And I must compliment and congratulate all of you. Actually, you are able to maintain this Sangha. You are able to organize it on weekly basis and you are able to sustain. So that means you are actually maintaining this relationship. Great job you guys are doing. Then the personal development. See, these are some of the skill set that, skills that one wants to, cultivate, or you want to refine them. It could be about your coding. It could be about your selling skill set. Then the recreation. Recreation is more about, your hobbies, the fun activities. Apart from your obligated activities like your work, etc., you would also like to, develop certain hobbies or habits which can help you to have some fun in your life. Environment. Some people are conscious about environment. And then the spirituality. Like these sessions you are attending, you are listening to the Dhamma Desna, etc. Again, part of spirituality. So you can see that, our goals can be broadly into one of these areas. So normally at any given point of time, if you can actually put your highest goal, top priority goal into 2 or 3 buckets, and then you can have some sub goals, it will be really helpful to all of you. The next thing that I would like to talk is achieving the goals. So this is like, you are at a current stage and you have to move a desired stage, and how the executive coach helps you. Executive coach will help you to, through conversation, help you to identify some of the enabling forces, the forces which can help you to move from the current state to the desired state. And also you need to identify some of the derailing forces, the activities, the hindrances. Buddha had mentioned about the 5 hindrances, which I have mentioned in my book also. So there are these hindrances which actually blocks us moving from current state to the desired state. So we should be aware about the enabling and the derailing forces so that we are able to move to the desired state very fast. Now, while doing this, one of the suggestion to all of you is, and this is what the executive coaching principle talks, is instead of focusing on the problem areas, we should focus on the solution. Let me give an example. Let's say COVID was a problem. Everybody faced that. Some of us lost jobs. Some of us actually got a salary cut. Some of us actually lost some near and dear ones. It was very difficult. But at that time, actually, instead of complaining about certain country, complaining about certain things, if we could have thought about some solutions, Even if there is a reduction in my pay, reduction in maybe, certain things, can I actually, reduce my expenses? Again, you're talking about solution. The moment you think about a solution to the any problem, you'll see that, your mind gets energized. You get energized. So this is one of the thing in the executive coaching that, you need your solution orientation. Now, the last segment of my talk is about integrating the Buddha's teaching with the executive coaching principles. So here I have taken one segment. So I'm going to talk about the Four Noble Truths and how they are actually interlinked with the executive coaching. So there are several things which I have covered in my book. My humble request to all of you is, if you get a chance, please buy the book. Actually, there is a soft copy available. Kindle edition is available on Amazon. Uh, uh, and you'll able to see, more and more things. But I would like to share one thing that is a noble truth and how it integrates with the executive coaching principles. So as you know, the first truth is life is filled with suffering and dissatisfaction. That is what Buddha said. And this is the truth of life. It's a conditional existence truth that life is filled with suffering and dissatisfaction. In the executive coaching context, we need to recognize the challenges and the pain points in our own professional and personal life. Some of the challenges, some of the pain areas which are not helping us to move from the current state to the desired state. And at the same time, we will also have certain aspirations, certain goals. So that could also be part of identifying them as part of your current challenges. The second truth, the second noble truth said by Buddha is, there is a cause of suffering. And the suffering is caused by attachment, desire, and ignorance. In the context of executive coaching, we need to understand the underlying causes of our current challenges, current pain areas. It could be our limiting beliefs. It could be our mind blocks. It could be our unproductive habits. It could be some of our misaligned goals. So we need to identify them. The third noble truth is the end of suffering. Buddha said it is possible to end suffering by eliminating its underlying causes. In the executive coaching context, it is possible to overcome these challenges by eliminating our unhealthy habits and distractions. The goal should be to forge a path towards fulfillment and ultimate success. So that is where I said, we need to identify goals, we need to identify milestones, and we need to identify the actions to move from one milestone to another milestone. And the last noble truth is path leading to the end of suffering. In the Buddhism context, Buddha told us about the Noble Eightfold Path that leads to the cessation of suffering. So Buddha has told us that suffering exists. However, there is a path to end the suffering. And that path is nothing but the Eightfold Path. And in the executive coaching context, what I'm saying is, once we identify the challenges, pain areas in our life, identify certain compelling goals in our life, we need to identify structured plan like Noble Eightfold Path for achieving our goals and maintaining balance. And quickly, I'll tell you one story which Buddha said, suffering exists, but he said it is like a two arrows. Many of you must have heard this story, but let me take 1 minute and tell you this story. Two arrows. The first arrow is like the truth of life, which is the suffering, the sickness, the unpleasant contact that we get. The sickness, injury, or any unpleasant news that we hear, any stimulus that we get is nothing but like a first arrow hitting us. But the second arrow, Buddha said, is optional. The second arrow is our reaction to the first arrow, our mental agony, our frustration. If we can actually, take a space, if we can create a space, we can take a pause and follow the principles told by Buddha, like, mindfulness, accepting the reality, investigating, why this particular first arrow is hitting me, and then identifying the path, solution will help us. Having a solution mindset will help us to actually avoid the second arrow. So Buddha said the second arrow is optional. We can avoid it hitting us. So quickly, the Eightfold Path, the right view and the right intention, both of them combine as a wisdom, the panna. The next three are the right speech, right action, right livelihood, are nothing but the moral code of conduct, Shila. And then last three are but basically our mental development, the discipline our mind, the right effort, the right concentration, and right mindfulness. And just to summarize or to conclude my session, executive coaching inspired by Buddha's teachings integrate professional expertise with spiritual growth and ethical conduct. Buddha has urged all of us to cultivate a balanced mind that is content with what it is, staying in the present moment, having a gratitude for what we have, yet open to the potential for transformation and evaluation. So being content, having a gratitude for what we have, we should be open to explore what universe has to offer us. And there is an untapped potential in us. If we can, untap that potential, and we'll see that, we can bring out the best in us. As we close, remember our path, everybody's path, mirrors Bodhisattva's path, leading with wisdom, compassion, and the courage to cultivate inner peace, make well-informed decision, and lead with integrity and empathy, and transform suffering into growth. Let Buddha, the executive coach, be your guide. Thank you very much. I sincerely appreciate all of you for listening me patiently.
Thank you so much, Dr. Phulpagar, for sharing your insights and for all the enlightening words. I would now like to ask if anyone from the audience has any questions for Sir. Please raise your hands and we'll unmute yourself, and then you can ask your questions. And we'll take turns as per your raised hand. So please wait for your turns. So first, we have a question from Dr. Devidas Sakpal. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question?
Madam Jai Bhim, Namo Buddhaya. I am Dr. Devidas Sakpal from Telangana. I'm not questioning, but I am very happy with the session. And first, special gratitude to Ambedkar Association of North America and Vandami Bhanteji. Then I am very appreciating to Sumit, the boy, tell story. It's wonderful, very effectively. And now this book, I purchased this book, Buddha, the Executive Coach, Timeless Wisdom. I am met our respected Dr. Santosh Phulpagar sir. It is very wonderful session, madam. We learn here the cultivate goodness in, and how can we practice, take Buddha in practice, the power of mind, particularly we listen here, and it's really it's a wonderful opportunity. Very direct to going these thoughts to grassroots level. There is no doubt it is wonderful session. We wish again this type of meeting. I am very thankful to Dr. Phulpagar sir and you, madam. Please, it's wonderful message. Thank you, madam. Please.
Thank you. Next, we have a question from Mr. Sathinath Chaudhary. Can you please raise your hand? Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you.
It was a wonderful presentation. It seems like you have summarized the whole book. So what else is left in the book? If you could fill in some things that that you did not have time to tell us about. And secondly, I wanted to know more about the two arrows. I don't know much about the two arrows. Can you explain that a little more? Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Satyanath. I think that's a wonderful question. I will strongly encourage you to, buy a book and read a book. There should be something for you to read. If I share everything here, then there will not be nothing for you to, explore in the book. And I think the two arrow story, I think, has been borrowed by many people. Like I have been, training people on 7 habits of highly effective people. There also we talk about, the stimulus and the response. We have to create a pause between stimulus and the response. So the first arrow is like a suffering that exists, the stimulus that we are getting from the outside world. Stimulus could be in the form of, what others have said. Stimulus could be in the form of our own perception about the outside world. So all that is actually hitting us as a first arrow. Now, second arrow can also hit us if we actually, react to it. If we are not able to develop our mind, if we are not able to build our mental strength, then there is a possibility that, the pain caused by the first arrow will get aggrieved. It will get compounded if again second arrow hits us. And Buddha said that, the second arrow is optional. And he actually suggested that, we need to follow the path of, let's say, mindfulness, sati. So that means first you recognize that the first arrow has hit you. Then second, probably you need to accept the reality. There is a suffering, somebody has said something, that stimulus has come. You first accept that. Third thing is probably, you need to investigate why this probably first arrow has come. And once you investigate, probably you will be able to find that, you can let it go. Let go. I think these are the 4 steps that Buddha has told us about, having or keeping the second arrow as optional.
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. Wanted to ask if it's available on the Amazon or in the US?
India, it is available. In US also, that's what the publisher told me it is available. But I think the Kindle edition is available. Amazon, Flipkart, I think Inagram. Then I think Google Play Store also it is available. The soft copy is available on Google Play Store.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much for that question.
Next. Okay. Next, we have a question from Mr. Amit. Can you please unmute yourself and ask your question? Thank you.
I do not have a question. I just want to thank you, Anna, for arranging this session. And I want to congratulate Dr. Santosh Phulpagar for bringing out this book and for, taking this session to make everybody aware of it. Really a great book, Doctor. And again, congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you. Sincerely appreciate it.
Do we have any more questions for Doctor from the audience? Okay. Looks like...
Yes, Pranuti, I do have a question to share. Santosh sir, thank you for joining the online Viara at your busy schedule. You are a very busy person there. But thank you for joining. The quick question that we all call Buddha the teacher. I do not see that people call him a mentor, or now you are calling him as a coach. During the Dhamma Desana or Dhamma talk, many people we call as a teacher. So what is the reason, and can you explain the difference teacher, mentor, and the coach? How you differentiate all this kind of terminology?
There is a definition for each of them. Teacher is basically, somebody who already has a knowledge and sharing with you. So if I have to teach you, let's say the economics, I need to, know about economics. Then only I can teach you about economics. And mentor is also somebody who is aware about that subject. So here, mentoring is more about, helping you, hand-holding you. And the executive coaching, you are an expert in economics. I, as an executive coach, need not be expert in your area. What I should be expert is, asking you the right question, which can trigger thinking in your mind, expanding your mind. And I believe, Buddha has also used these principles of asking the right question, Because let's say King Ajatasattu or other kings had come to him, or business people had come to him. Buddha need not know the answer to those questions. Through the asking the right question, he helped them to actually find their own answers. In fact, Attadipa Bhava, basically what Buddha is saying, you experience and then believe. Be your own light. So that way I'm saying that Buddha was also executive coach. Buddha see, executive coach doesn't mean that you cannot teach. Executive coach doesn't mean you cannot mentor. But executive coach is a very encompassing thing. Teacher, see, in any university, a teacher in one area cannot teach in another area. A mentor in one area probably cannot mentor in another sector. Whereas I believe an executive coach is a concept which actually covers broader spectrum. So I believe Buddha actually, as an executive coach, irrespective of any topic or irrespective of any problem statement, he was able to ask the right question and train all of us. See, ultimately what he said, we have to train our mind. Whether we are a medical or an engineer, whether we are working in healthcare, we are working in fintech, or whichever sector we are working, we know there are problems, and every problem will have certain solution, and there is a recipe to work towards that. So we know that. See, so what Buddha as an executive coach is saying that even if we, as a coach, I do not know that recipe, but I should be able to help you to identify your own recipe. That is why I'm saying that Buddha was an executive coach. Does it make sense, Mahesh?
Okay, not a problem. Thank you. It makes sense, yeah. But yeah, the
Yeah, I
terminologies
understand.
have their own meanings, and it makes
But
sense.
means basically, you should be able to expand your thinking process. See, many times, there's a conscious part of mind and there is a subconscious part of the mind. There are many things which are lying in your subconscious part. The conscious part will have only very limited memory. Subconscious part has a vast amount of memory. By listening to the right questions, you'll see that the thing which are lying in the subconscious part of our mind, there is an unexpected connection which happens, and suddenly you say that I can do this. There is a possibility I can actually work on this area. From where it comes, it is already there within you. It comes when somebody is instigating, or somebody is asking you the right question.
Okay, perfect, sir. Thank you, sir. Is it possible, sir, if you can post your Amazon link on the chat box? If you, yeah, somebody already posted that. Yeah,
Yes.
thank you. Yeah. Amit also has a question, and Dhananjay Awale. Yeah.
Hey, Dr. Santosh. So my question is again extending from this previous question. So you addressed the side from the executive coach, but let's say I'm going to an executive coach. What should be my kind of role, or how should I approach an executive coach, or what should be the practice I should follow if I'm taking executive coaching?
Okay. Let me add a few disclaimers, Amit. Not everybody can be coached. 99% can be coached. So again, 1% I will not talk. Basically, first of all, person who can be coach is somebody who is open. Because executive coach will ask you some questions which are going to help you to first identify some of the compelling goals for yourself, help you to identify the milestones, help you to identify the actions, and then coach is going to converse with you to see how are you progressing. So first of all, you should be very clear that you are going to share some of the confidential things, because your goal is your goal. It could be very confidential. Some of the action that you're going to take, they're going to be very confidential. But then and one of the thing, there's an organization called International Coach Federation. They have listed down some ethical principle for executive coaches. So one of the important thing is confidentiality. If I am an executive coach for somebody like you, I need to ensure that whatever you are sharing with me, I need to keep it confidential. So I think see, many times we are not very open to share with others. What is my goal? what is my dilemma? See, many times people approach coaches because they have dilemmas in their life, and the coaches are going to help you to resolve those dilemmas. And dilemma is, I really want to do XYZ, but I am unable to do it. That is something called dilemma. So I think number one criteria is you should be open to share. Number two, I think even if that person is not from your field, person should be able to devote time for you, because this is going to be periodical calls every 2 weeks, as I said. Sometimes in the beginning they are weekly calls, and but as the time progresses, these calls could be fortnightly. So you and he should be able to find the common time. If you can do physically, great. If you cannot do it physically, I think online is also available.
Thanks.
Thank you for that question, Amit. Yeah.
Mr. Dhananjay has also raised his hand, so please
Yes.
go forward. Yeah.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Santosh Phulpagar, for giving us a very nice information on your book. What are the contents of those book? I really appreciate this, and I will definitely purchase this book to get
Thank you.
more
Sincerely
hold
appreciate.
of hold what is being told in this book to achieve my goals. Thanks for that. Now, as I see, like whatever the things you mentioned here are based on the principles in the Buddhism. Like you told about Eightfold Path, like five percepts or the noble truths. So I just wanted to know what are the sutras or the books you went through to write this book. For example, if something from Dhammapada or maybe Digha Nikaya or Milin Prashna, right? Or so what made you write this book, and what content you use from the books in the Buddhism? Like I understand, like you understood those books first and then you put your words to make this book. I just wanted to know, like, what are those books so that we should know
Reference material. Yeah,
in
reference
details. Yeah.
material. Right. I think there is one website, suttapitika.com, actually, where you
Okay.
will see a lot of suttas being translated in English. That has been one of the
Okay.
major source for my research. And then apart from that, friends, there were a lot of friends like Mangesh Daivale, Nitin Salve, and then so many learned people, and then Milin
Yes.
Panna and other Dhammapada. But
Mhm.
major source has been Sutta Pitika. Sutta Pitika.
Oh, great. Thank you so much for giving that information. I'll definitely visit that site also to gain more information. Thank you.
Looks like we don't have any further questions for you, sir. On behalf of Anna, I would like to express our deep gratitude for you to take out the time from your busy schedule and enlightening us from like what have you understood in your life and what you have put it in this wonderful book. I'm sure most of us are going to purchase this book and read more in detail to understand what it is. Yes, you have explained it, but yeah, I'm sure there are a lot of other hidden treasures in the book, which we'll understand more in depth once we actually read it. My personal takeaway would be like how I can implement this in my day-to-day life. So I'm going to make sure that I have an open mindset and like a solution-oriented mindset while integrating all Buddha's principles, his teachings, the Eightfold Path, mindfulness, etc., and integrating those together with the steps you mentioned and trying to achieve whatever little challenges I face in day-to-day life to achieve my required solution and goal. And I'm sure most of us are going to start looking at Buddha's teachings and how we can implement it in our daily life, because at then that's the most important part.
Very true. Very true.
Yeah. So
And
thank you so much, sir, once again. And with that, we would like to conclude today's session. Firstly, on
Madam
behalf of
Ved Solanki this side, I want to ask one question, please.
sure,
Can
yeah,
allow
go ahead.
me 2 minutes. So I'm Ved Solanki from Faridabad, Haryana. And sir, my question from Dr. Santosh is regarding my wife. Actually, my wife behavior is not good for my mother. because of some ego. I mean, there is a ego problem, attitude problem with my wife. So she don't behave nicely with my mother. So in this situation, I tried a lot to understand my wife, but she is not ready to understand. She always misbehave with my mother and with me also. She never listen. Okay, so in this case, how I can, what can I do here in this case? Sometime, uh, you know, I'm just following Buddhism, just implementing so many things. So I'm just improving myself. Okay, so if my wife say something to me, so I can handle. Okay, so can I speak in English? I mean, can I speak in Hindi, please? Actually, my English is not
हाँ जी सर, हाँ जी सर, हाँ
not
जी
that
सर.
much.
But I do not know time wise actually, Pranoti, Mahesh, how are we doing? Are we okay?
We can conclude with just this last question. Maybe like if you can quickly wind it up.
Yeah. Sir,
बोलिए
should
ना
I say
जरा.
something more?
हाँ
हाँ.
हाँ, बोलिए ना,
तो
बोलिए
सर
बोलिए.
अगर मेरी वाइफ मुझसे मिसबिहेव करती है, मुझसे गलत बोलती है, तो आई कैन हैंडल इजीली, बिकॉज आई फॉलो बुद्धा टीचिंग. तो उसमें क्या है कि मैं मुझ पे कोई फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. मुझे तो उल्टा उस पे कंपैशन और ये मैं उस पे होता है कि मेरी वाइफ में कोई नहीं, वो थोड़ा उसका नेचर ही ऐसा है. इट्स ओके, वो उतना उसको एक्सपोजर नहीं है वर्ल्ड के बारे में. वो अपना उसका नेचर बिहेवियर ही ऐसा है. तो एज इट इज मैं उसको देखता हूँ. मैंने विपश्यना भी किया हुआ कोर्स, 2 कोर्स किए हुए हैं. तो मुझ पे कोई फर्क नहीं होता है, क्योंकि अगर मैं देखिए, जैसे कि मैं अगर बीमार हूं तो उसका मुझे ही उसको सफर करना होगा, मेरे और कोई सफर नहीं करेगा. तो सिमिलरली मैं आई एम रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर माई सेल्फ. ठीक है, मैं अपनी, मुझे मेरी वाइफ कुछ भी बोले या कोई भी मुझे बोले, आई कैन हैंडल इजीली. बट दैट आई कैन हैंडल ना. बट माई मदर, इफ माई मदर डोंट नो दीज टेक्निक्स. ओके, शी, तो मेरी वाइफ अगर मेरी मदर से मिसबिहेव करती है, तो इन दैट केस हाउ हाउ आई कैन हैंडल द सिचुएशन. बिकॉज अब फिर मुझे मेरे नेबर्स बोलते हैं कि आपकी मदर को ऐसे बोलती है आपकी वाइफ, आप उसको क्यों नहीं बोलते हो. ठीक है, मुझसे कोई कुछ भी बोले, आई कैन हैंडल इजीली. मैं बिल्कुल मेडिटेशन करता हूँ, काम रहता हूँ, मुझे तो कुछ प्रॉब्लम, फर्क नहीं पड़ता है. पहले पड़ता था, लेकिन जब से मैं लॉर्ड बुद्धा की टीचिंग फॉलो कर रहा हूँ, तब से मैंने काफी इंप्रूवमेंट किया है. ठीक है, लेकिन अब मेरी वाइफ, मेरी मदर को वो इस तरह से वो बोलती है, तो वहां पे मैं कैसे उसको हैंडल करूं. वो तो मेरे कंट्रोल से बाहर हो गया ना.
करेक्ट करेक्ट. सर्कल ऑफ कंसर्न एंड सर्कल ऑफ इन्फ्लुएंस बेसिकली.
हाँ.
कुछ चीजें अपने कंट्रोल में है, कुछ चीजें अपने कंट्रोल के बाहर है.
हाँ.
और आपने जब से लॉर्ड बुद्धा के टीचिंग पढ़ना चालू कर दिया, तब से यू आर एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड योर
हाँ.
वाइफ एंड यू आर एबल टू मैनेज दैट
हाँ.
फ्रस्ट्रेशन. पर
हाँ. हाँ.
अभी ऐसा हो रहा है कि वाइफ और आपकी मदर इन
हाँ.
दोनों को प्रोबेबली लॉर्ड बुद्धा की टीचिंग्स अभी तक पता
नहीं
नहीं
मालूम,
चली है.
बिल्कुल नहीं मालूम, एंड दे आर नॉट
तो मुझे
इंटरेस्टेड एट
लगता
ऑल.
है वेद
मैं
जी, पहले तो आप मतलब देखो, आप जो बता रहे हो, आई एम श्योर इट्स अ ग्लोबल इशू. ये मैं एक्चुअली व्हेन आई वाज वर्किंग विद क्रॉम्पटन ग्रीव्स में इंडोनेशिया में भी 7 हैबिट की ट्रेनिंग करने गया था. वहां पे भी ऐसे ही क्वेश्चन मेरे को पूछे गए थे कि कैसे सॉल्व करे जाए. तो ये ग्लोबल आई थिंक इशू है. बट देन आई थिंक इशू इज ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में भी होता है जब डिफरेंसेस होते हैं. दो लोगों में जब डिफरेंसेस होते हैं, डिफरेंट ओपिनियन होते हैं. डिफरेंसेस किस लिए होते हैं? क्योंकि अलग अलग ओपिनियन होता है अबाउट द सेम थिंग. एंड एज अ रिजल्ट फिर उनमें तकरार, ये झगड़ा चालू हो जाता है. तो मुझे तो पहले ऐसा लगता है, वेद जी, आप उन दोनों को विपश्यना कराइए या थोड़ा सा बुद्धा का नॉलेज उनको भी दीजिए. और धीरे धीरे उनको क्या है ना, मुझे लगता है किसी को भी हम जो बिहेव करते हैं उसका कॉन्सिक्वेंस अगर पता चले, अगर आपके वाइफ को या आपके मदर को ये पता चले कि मैं मेरे वाइफ के साथ, सॉरी, मेरे बहू के साथ ऐसा बिहेव करूंगी या मैं मेरे सास के साथ ऐसा बिहेव करूंगी, तो उसका कॉन्सिक्वेंस क्या हो सकता है. सी, जिस घर में जितना प्यार, जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में जितनी टीम यूनिटी से काम होता है, वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन सक्सेसफुल होती है. वही फैमिली, मतलब देखिए, मतलब कोई बड़ा ये नहीं है कि प्रिंसिपल नहीं है. जिस घर में, जिस ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में कम से कम झगड़े हो, कम से कम ऐसे इश्यूज रहे, वो ऑर्गेनाइजेशन में खुशी ज्यादा रहती है. और उस घर के बच्चे ज्यादा पढ़ लिख के आगे बढ़ते हैं. ये मतलब सबको पता है. पर हमें वो प्रॉब्लम को आइडेंटिफाई करके सॉल्यूशन पे फोकस करना है कि किस क्या करने से ये कम हो सकता है. एंड मुझे लगता है कि ये मतलब 2 मिनट में इसका आंसर नहीं मिल सकता उसको, मुझे लगता है अलग से अपने को सेशन करना पड़ेगा वेद जी।
एक बात मैं और कहूँ इसी में जोड़ने के लिए, ये एक थर्ड पर्सन भी इन्वॉल्व हो। आप ये जो क्वेश्चन कर रहे थे उनके अलावा, जैसे प्रोफेशनल काउंसलर और somebody, then they have two kinds of they hear the young woman, and they hear the mother-in-law separately and then jointly together, and then he or she can counsel them. Sometimes it can work also.
Yeah.
Also, aside from what you suggested that they should do vipassana and other things together, but hearing both of them, both the women, from a third person who is supposed to be, professional, who has studied more of psychology and all. So that can have some influence. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. So
Hello. Hello.
hello.
Yeah, could I add 2 points if I am given few seconds?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay, if I say from feminist perspective, then I also work in an office. I have made many female employees, so I can say that different female different female women or women or female have different perspective. So feminism, if I talk from feminist perspective, every female have got different opinions about different things. So if the concerned male understand different emotions, different psychological like thought process of different female, then there could be a resolution as well as solution. Because no two different female think in the same way. Two female think in the different way. So if the male understand this diversity of female thought processes, then there could be some solution.
Yeah, thank you for your perspective on this. I'm sure like everyone deals with a lot of different challenges, both personally and professionally in our day-to-day life. So the most important thing is like just to follow Buddha's principles, his teachings, and try to make the most out of it and try to look at it positively, no matter what the situation is. On that note, I would like to conclude today's online session. I would like to express thanks on behalf of Anna to Venerable Bhante Rakhidanand for blessing us with the Dhamma talk today, for Smith Vamankar for sharing a very engaging story, and thank you, Dr. Santosh Phulpagar, for sharing your wonderful take on Buddha as an executive coach. With that, and also I would like to thank all the participants who joined today and for asking their questions and for making everything so engaging. On that note, I would like to thank everyone, and hopefully we'll see you again.